Good morning, everybody. Cheers. Happy stream day. Yum, freshly made coffee. I also just realised I didn't turn the aircon on. It's a bit warm in here. Sorry. Should have done that beforehand. Apologies. I'm sitting here, the clock's ticking down. It's got like 6 seconds to go, and I'm not going to make it to the air conditioner in time and back. So hi. It's been a few weeks. Not much has changed. I was almost excited for the stream today because I have a new camera, microscope camera. So I got a microscope for downstairs for my inspection area downstairs near the line, and I don't need a camera down there. I don't have a screen or anything else, but I got a camera with it, and I thought I got a pretty decent camera, one that I could replace my old one with, but I can only get pink and purple out of it. I can see the menus and stuff, but I can't get anything else out of it, and I think it's because they're doing something a bit naughty with the HDMI. It's not a fully specified, it doesn't follow the spec properly, is what I'm trying to say. So I couldn't get it working. I tried about 2 hours yesterday to get it working, all different things, software updates, blah, blah, blah. Hey, Electronics. Yeah, it has been a while. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so it does 4K and it does 1080p 60. My ATEM Mini only does, which is what I switch HDMI with, only does 1080p 30, I think. So I've got USB capture cards and I can't find them. So I got in early this morning and I've been looking everywhere. I haven't used one of the capture cards for a really long time, the HDMI to USB, which would make this act like a webcam. I can't find anywhere. I'm sure they're in a box somewhere. I would have put them in a box, and they would have sat on my desk for like a year, and then I would have put them in a box, and then they would have sat in a box on my desk for a year, and then I would have moved the box somewhere, and now I can't find where I put the box. I don't know where I put it. I've got boxes in boxes in boxes, whatever. So, yeah, I was hoping to get a better picture. This is supposed to give a much wider
HAL 9000 says, isn't it in that box behind you?
Oh, it's in the box, it's in the box, it's in the box. That's somewhere. Honestly, I don't know where it is. It could be anywhere. I looked. I spent about 40 minutes looking, but it's probably somewhere in that front room that is an absolute dumping ground. And I didn't have the, what's the word? Not energy. I didn't have it in me to start ripping through all of their, because I would have got distracted by other things I found and whatever. Anyway, so maybe for next stream I'll get this working. It does work. You can see stuff. It's all green and purple. So yeah. Inclination, yeah. Motivation, inclination. What's in the box? Yeah, no. We're not doing that. We're not opening those boxes here. So, should be an interesting stream today. If this board works. I'll just wait a couple of more minutes before I go into why it's a Rev 3 and what happened to Rev 2, and what's happened with the actual project, and why have I rage quitted it? Quitted it? Why have I rage quit the project 4 times already? Yeah. So we'll get to that. Where's Waldo? ADHD edition. Yeah. Where's? Oh, look at that! I forgot I had that. Oh, where's the? Oh, look at that. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's a close view anyway. Even with this camera, it might be a bit sharper or wider, but it's still, watching me do stuff under a microscope still isn't as good as if I had a better camera option. I actually set myself up a rig for a proper camera, like a not over the microscope, but like a DSLR or something over there. But I haven't bought a camera for it because it's just spending money on stuff that I don't want to spend money on. You know, just for a camera review for my work area, for, you know, the odd occasion, is a bit extreme reason to go out and buy a new camera. I did buy, some of you might remember, I bought like one of those fake DSLR cameras from China. It's really just a point and shoot, but it looks like a DSLR, and it had some extra features on it. And I bought one of those ages ago, even before I moved. I think I got it. It arrived just before I moved, and yeah, it's actually not too bad. Picture-wise, it's really good. It's got that problem though, where even though it's got HDMI out, you can't take the display, the on-screen display, off the picture going out. It doesn't send the raw picture out. It sends what's on the screen, and so it's like, it's stupid. Why put an HDMI port on there? Let you get, you know, video signal out, and you can't take the on-screen display off the picture. So yeah, that was disappointing. But it was like $100, and I bought it ages ago. Unfortunately, a cheap DSLR, even one that is, or even just a non-DSLR, something that even doesn't require, you know, you don't change lenses on, is, you know, $1,000. And I just, yeah, it's, even for me, that's a bit extreme to spend for the 4 or 5 times a year. I might use it, and I know I'll tell myself, hey, if I get it, you know, I'll use it more, and maybe I'll make more assembly videos, and maybe I'll assemble more stuff on stream, and then I just won't, and then the camera will sit there doing nothing most of the time. Grey or red squirrel? Grey or red or brown? Yeah, brown squirrels. Your last camera cost me £1,000. Yeah, even cheap. Like, so the one that Scott uses from Adafruit, that he's got a Sony, like it's a compact, is it ZX, whatever. It's a really awesome camera, and it does, like, you know, it's got a product shot mode, so you can, you know, go like this in front of the camera, and it like instantly refocuses the camera on the product, and then you take it away and it focuses out. And it's not autofocus, it's product shot, like it deliberately, it finds what's in the foreground. And anyway, it's got some really nice picture quality, and every time I look at getting one, it's going to work out, yeah, like it end up costing me about $1,300 every time, and I just can't do it. And then Bob from I Like to Make Stuff, he was showing his, sorry, I'm off on a tangent, but he's been doing a lot of videos recently about how to do, like, you know, he built one of those movable camera stands, you know, that other people build, and things like a thing where you can plug his camera into the ceiling in different places with like a press fit stuff. He's been doing some interesting stuff. But so he's got one of the DJI, is it DJI? Yeah, one of the cameras, their new, you know, streaming web, I can't remember what it's called. And it's really amazing, but that also works once you get the battery pack for it and everything else. It, you know, it's like $1,400 or $1,500, and I have to stop spending money on stuff like that. Too easy to sink too much. Counterbalance ones are awesome. Counterbalance ones? Oh, you're right. You mean, yeah, when you can, yeah. Which is the DJI one he's got? Osmo Pocket 3. Yeah, this one. Okay. Well, this is $1,100 on Amazon. Oops. So this one with the combo, it's really good. Like, it's an amazing quality camera. But oh, you know what it doesn't have? It doesn't have HDMI out. But you can get a thing for it that does HDMI out, and that's another like $200, whatever. But as a camera, this is amazing. It's got full stability. You can either lock it or you put it into gimbal mode, and yeah, it does 4K 120 frames per second. It's a really, really good camera. Like, he's shot some amazing stuff with it, really amazing stuff. But I need something. I mean, that's great if I'm going to walk around, but I don't do a lot of that type of stuff walking around with the camera. I need something that can do HDMI. Like I want something like that I can stick in my work area, and I can take some really nice footage through a stream or in video of like me assembling stuff or whatever, where I can get closer, I can get further away, but I need to be able to capture it. So, hey Ian, how you doing? It's all in the lens. We should all, if only I could fit inside my lens of my Lumix. No, I'm kidding. So anyway, that was I've been looking at those on and off, but again, $1,100, amazing camera, but I'd hardly ever use it. This is the type of thing I'd end up just sticking inside my pick and place machine, and that would be a waste, right? If an Apple get an iPhone 16, crap phone, good camera. Yeah, but sometimes the wireless, doing it wireless like that, doesn't work. And also, I've got no way of controlling the camera except for on screen, like on the device, on the camera, and which means I have to grab the camera away from what you're looking at so I can adjust it. Like if I want to zoom in or zoom out, I got to like pinch the camera. Like again, yeah, I think the ideal would just be a cheap. I've even been looking at secondhand DSLRs. But even still, you can't remote control the camera. Or maybe there's some third-party software you can. I don't know. Yeah, I've got maybe some old cameras. And did you say get an iPhone 16? Really? So do you know how much an iPhone 16, the cheapest iPhone 16 in Australia costs? Oop. I mean, I'm just looking at Amazon. $1,600. That's $256. Where's this smaller one? $128. It doesn't matter. Like, I can buy 2 of those DJIs. I can buy DJI and all the accessories for the same price as an iPhone camera. As an iPhone 16. No, like I'd use an old camera, like an old iPhone. What do you think my last camera cost me over $1,000? Yeah, right. I can't believe how much iPhones are now, or all of the phones, right? Everyone screams about how expensive iPhones are, but all of the flagship phones now have all, at least in Australia, they've all gone over $2,000, like mid $2,000 for the top of the range phone. $2,500 for a phone. What is going on, people? Oh, already what? Hey, Chipu. Don't you know a guy who knows a guy? I know a guy who knows a guy who spends way too much money on technology. Just saying. Anyway, so let's talk about this controller board. So, revision 3, because I need to build it. I've got everything ready to go. I've got stencil set up. I've got my paste there. I've got most of my odd parts, like the things that don't fit in my pick and place wheel. I've got them. I think I've got them all out and around, ready to go. But let's have a quick talk about why I'm doing a V3, what happened to V2, and why I rage quit the project. Like, I think it's 3 times or 4 times. And I'm still currently rage quit of it, but I might have a solution for it. So, actually, no, let's say hi to everyone in the chat. I forgot. I'm out of practice. It's been like 2 weeks. I apologize. Yumbo Prime, hello. Christian, hi. Alan Medston, hello. Merry Christmas for everyone, or upcoming Merry Christmas, yes. Graham, hello, good morning. Antonio, hi. Adam Bryant, trying to force me to spend all my money on iPhones. Michael, good morning. Peter Homan, hello. Hello, John. Hello, David Esser. Johnny is in the house. Dutch Taurus, hello. AJ is here with a pew, 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 and then what is that? Oh, is that a laser gun? That's cool. I don't think I've seen that before. Okay, scrolling. Tabletronics, hi. I hope you're well. It has been a long time. Christian, hi. I can't tell if my glasses are dirty or my screen's dirty. I think my screen's dirty. I need to get the text in the right spot. Ian, Scott Johnson. Oh, I. Let's go backwards now. Luminator, hello. Mad Techie, hello. Dishipu. Hope you're well. Hope you're settled back into work after your holiday. Hecho, hi. Still rocking your iPhone 12. Yeah, there's really no need to upgrade to phones these days. Anyway, whatever. X-Micron, hello. I think I've gone back. Embedded Hobbyist, hi. I think I've got everyone now. It'd just be easier for everyone to say hi to Sion. No, I like saying hi to everyone. I'm rocking a 13 mini, right? And I was using my 7S, which I loved. My most, I know I've gone on a tangent. Why am I on here? That's not even the code I'm going to use. I was rocking my 7S until the battery was so bloated I could only get about 2 hours a day battery life out of it. And I kicked and screamed forever before upgrading my phone. And I refused to get a big phone. I don't like big phones. I've got an iPad mini. If I need a big phone, I've got an iPad, you know what I mean? No, they couldn't change the no. The phone was like, it was already pushed the case apart. Like, that's how the battery was going to blow up. And it was going to cost like $450 to replace the battery because Apple didn't have batteries anymore for those, and it was just, and I wasn't going to, anyway, it doesn't matter. My point is, I kicked and screamed, and then I made myself buy my 13 mini, and I think it's the worst iPhone I've ever had, honestly. But aesthetically, I like it, but just as a phone, and the best phone I ever had, like my most favorite phone ever, was the iPhone 5S. Did they do a 5S? Whatever it was, whatever the last of the fives were, in terms of its shape and size, and yeah. And I wish they'd make the 5 again, or I wish they'd make one that size. They're not even making a mini anymore, apparently. The 13 was the last of the minis. And so, trying to replace the iPhone battery on the 5S. Really? Caught on fire? Hey Steve, how you doing? Yeah, for newer phones, you can go to Apple and you can get it swapped out. All in Australia, I think it's about $80 or whatever. iPhone SE 22 version, pretty much the same as my old. Yeah, so the SE is actually not bad. I got one for Flynn. He's using an SE. Orly was using Yuzz's 7S until that also. Oh, that's right. I remember what happened with the battery. So Yuzz's 7S battery died, and so we did replace that battery, and it was like, I think it was $350 to get the battery replaced on the phone, and it lasted 6 months, 7 months, and it started, like, it was degrading really badly again. So that's why I didn't do my 7S, because it was just going to be a waste of money. So I put it towards the 13, but really not happy with it. It's still got that same bug. I don't know. Do you all, those of you with an iPhone, and I'm not judging, I would absolutely gladly go for a non-iPhone phone if I could run iOS on it. I just don't like Android, right? But in terms of the hardware, amazing looking phones. Anyway, does everyone still have the problem where your phone's ringing, ring, 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 and you can't swipe? You're going like this? Okay, that's just whatever. You're swiping, and it won't actually swipe. Do you still have that problem? That bug has been there forever, and I still have that on this phone. Like, what the... Anyway, stop. Let's move forward. I think my body temperature just raised a little bit. I was getting very aggravated doing something yesterday, and my watch goes, beep, 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 your heart rate is really high. You think? Anyway. How is that even thing? What thing? Yeah, you get to swipe, and you can't answer the call. So you can, if you hit the button and then touch the screen again, it breaks it out of that, but that also hangs up the call. I can't tell you how many times I have to call someone back because I couldn't answer the call. And that bug has been there it's a known bug, and it's been there forever. And is it hardware? Is it software? Anyway, we should move on from phones. I'm getting really worked up now. Not really. Red Magic 10 Pro. Did they ever release their phones? Anyway, no one calls that show. I don't get that many calls either. More SMS than calling, and I'll always try to get to my computer to reply on SMS than use my phone if I have to, if I can. And if I'm in the car, I'll always choose replying by Siri. Well, obviously I'm not going to type while I'm driving, but you know what I mean? Like I avoid touching my phone as much as possible. Like if I'm sitting here, I'll even answer my phone. I don't have a SIM card in my watch. It's just a Wi-Fi one, right? I use the watch mainly as a watch, and for the fitness stuff. So, but I will sit here, like if my phone rings, I'll answer on my watch before I'll answer on my phone. Yeah, I've done it on my Mac before. It is weird. That was the same excuse for the thing. I'm holding it wrong. Yeah. Apple have done some very stupid things in the past. Done and said some very stupid things. No doubt. I'll still take a Mac over a PC and Mac OS over Windows any day of the week. But my love for Apple was here, and now it's here. It's not hate for Apple, it's just, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. So, okay. Because I really want to build this board and try it, just in case the power goes out. Hey Simon. Simon says, Home Assistant. That's very funny. Hi Simon. Yeah, Simon says, stay on topic. So, I mentioned on my streams a while ago when I was playing with the Rover that what I wanted to do with the Rover was to implement independent movement and rotation. Now, a Rover can move in any direction, and the omnidirectional, my Rover, let's talk, we're talking about omnidirectional wheels. No, actually, we're talking about mechanism wheels. Does everyone understand the difference between mechanism wheels and omnidirectional wheels? No, yes, no. Doesn't really matter. Okay. These are what I've got on the thing. Oh my God. So these are actually called mechanism wheels. They allow the car to go omnidirectional, but they're called mechanism wheels. An omnidirectional wheel isn't on an angle. It's perpendicular. So it's designed for like a three-wheel assembly. So you can move any direction using like a triangle, right? Wheels on 3 points. These they're called mechanism wheels, but everyone just calls them omnidirectional as well, right? So with these wheels, you can move any direction without rotating the thing. You can also rotate, right? And you can rotate and move at the same time. But here's the challenge. I want to be able to, let's go this way. I want to be able to drive straight. I want to be able to go 1 meter forward, yeah? I want to be able to turn on the spot like this. So when I finish, I want to be facing 90 degrees this way. Okay? Like this and like this. And I couldn't get this working. Couldn't get it working. Rewriting. And then it finally tweaked in my head that it was never going to work the way I was doing it, because I was calculating from here, what rotations I needed for each wheel to get it from here to here, and then I was saying go. But what that would do is, as it's driving, the rotation part would make it rotate like this. Okay? Hey Beata. And the problem is you can't pre-calculate these are the rotations and speeds of the wheels and, counting
Hal
the pulses.
9000 says numbers is hard.
Numbers are hard. You can't pre-calculate what all of them are to get it to the end where the wheels all start and stop at the same time and have it work, because it can't be a pre-calculation. Because every time it moves and rotates, the mathematics to get it to the next step changes. So it doesn't start here and end there. It's got to be, as you're moving to here, then it's got to recalculate what the next step is. It's got to be step calculation is the only way to do it. So I took my project and I duplicated the project and I started again, and I've got, my God, it was doing my head in. So, you know, I've got a controller, then I've got a controller V2, and then I've got a kinematics controller. So ultimately, you have to build a kinematic model, kinematic model of the car. So instead of driving the car by saying, I want to go this way and turn this way, which is a forward kinematic version, you need to do a kinematic version, or an inverse kinematic version, where there's actually 3 different axes on the car you need to track. Each wheel has its own axes, right? Which is not calculated from forward or from sideways. It's calculated from the angle of the wheel. And then you've got a we'll call it a body direction that they all attach to, and then you've got an overall direction, and you need to work out the wheels and then go all the way backwards based on the angle and direction you want. It's did my head in. Like, maths is not my best thing, right? And I've tried, you know, I built a vector class. Actually, that's an old vector class. Where's all my functions gone? Shit. Did I not copy them over? Oh no. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, it I couldn't get it working. Could not get it working. The whole recalculation, everything, and the reason I couldn't get it working, apart from the fact my maths is not great and just everything about it, right, is that to do this via pulse counting is almost impossible, because you've got to calculate how far it's moved and how far it's rotated, and know where it's up to know when the next step has to be. The next step can't be time-based, because you might not be in the position you need to be in already for that next time slice, right? And if you want it to be a smooth movement, all the wheels have to be, all the rotation speeds have to be adjusted so that they all finish their move at the same time, at that time step, no matter how much, like this wheel could be rotating twice as much as this one. They both have to finish at the same time, which means you're counting pulses differently. But to do that real time, I couldn't get it working. Like, it just did my head in. So I went, enough. So I'd already ordered and received my V2 board. And my V2 board fixed all the bodge wires and everything else that was on this board. But otherwise it was the same. It was just a fixed board. But I realized there was no way I'm ever going to get this working with pulse counting. And if I can't get this working to do what I want it to do, then it's just something I'm going to move around. Sure, I can move this around and do whatever. And I can put a camera on the top that is on its own stepper, its own axis, right? It can be its own Z-axis, and I can control that. So I could make the car never rotate, just move, and I can have a camera rotate, yeah? But I feel like that's just, you know, that's an ugly solution. I want to be able to get the car to drive in any direction and rotate and face in any direction independently. So the only way I can do that is to get real-time feed. I need to real-time know where the car is, how much it's moved, and how much it's rotated. So there are 2 things I need for that. And everyone's going to go, I told you so, I told you so. Right? Well, fine, go on. I'm listening. Go on, I told you so. Anyone? So my new board is the same as my V2, but I added a magnetometer. Now, a magnetometer, so to be able to do like a compass direction. A magnetometer by itself isn't going to be good enough, really, because, you know, I'm not going to be able to do sub-degrees with it, and I'm doubtful I'm going to be able to accurately do a degree, like maybe.
Alan Madsen says I didn't say that.
You didn't say that? Lots of people did. And what was the other thing lots of people said I should put on it? Anyone? Put on it or use. Well, use, whatever.
Hal 9000 says told you so.
See? You see? Come on, everyone, get it out of your system. Sure, that's what the magnetometer is, a gyroscope. Yep. So that's going on. I've got to put one of those, the same one I've got in my tiny watch. How I'm going to calibrate it, I don't know yet, but we'll get to that. That's a software thing. Someone had to say it, absolutely. Trackball, LiDAR, camera. Close. I mean, I've got that LiDAR, but that doesn't give me distance. Or doesn't give, not properly, not easily. Anyway, no, I bought one of those optical mouse things from AliExpress. A module, not a chip. I'm not designing my own thing around it, and not an optical one, but the old ones, the camera-based ones.
Alan Madsen says put a remote on it and give it to your son.
Yeah, but I mean, I could solve it just by doing remote control. I want the thing to be able to move around and look at things independently of each other. That's what I want, right? That's my challenge for this. You know, if it was just moving it around and be able to get it anywhere, well, that's been done a million times, right? I want to be able to move it around and independently look at something. I want it to be able to move. I want it to be able to look at me, and as it's moving, I want it to track and keep looking at me, but while it's moving over there in a straight line, right? I want it to be able to do waypoint movement is my ultimate goal. I want to be able to give it, you know, these are the 5 positions I want you to go to, and at each position I want you to look at this thing. That's my goal, right? For what purpose? None. I don't have a purpose. I'm just an idiot. I'm just a glutton for punishment. But that is what I would like it to be able to do without adding an extra axis. An extra axis would be super easy, and then I could just move the camera around in circles to my heart's content. But this car should be able to do what I want if I can work out the maths, right? So if I add that, the mouse, the old camera-based mouse movement thing, then I should be able to, hopefully, I don't know, if a mouse can do it, I'm assuming I can, I should be able to track movement and distance. And you can't track rotation with those, but with that and the magnetometer, I might be able to make the camera do a bit of correction on the magnetometer, right? Maybe, I don't know. But with a magnetometer and that movement thing, I'm hoping I can remove the need to count pulses from the encoders on the wheels. At least not to get accurate distance. So if I say I want you to go forward a meter, I need to know it's gone forward a meter. And I can't do that by counting pulses if the number of pulses is dynamically changing every time slice. Because I don't know how many pulses I'm going to need at the end, right? Because the pulses to move is totally different to the pulses to rotate. Use the camera and track edges. No, that's not really going to give me what I need. But I need to know, because, and again, that doesn't work if I'm trying to make the camera look at something specific and track it. So if it's not looking the direction it's going, it can't and it's looking at a fixed point, right? Like this, then it can't use that to track distance or anything. So my new board has got a magnetometer on it. I've ordered one of those sensors. May get here before Christmas. May get here before Christmas next year.
John Clayton says Adrupilot.
Adrupilot. Don't know what Adrupilot is, John, but this is like I'm not wanting to use a different framework. I'm wanting to develop my own framework to do this. Like I want to. Does that make sense? Like from the camera side, from the vision, and detection side, right? I want it to be able to, you know, from calculating rotations based on screen space coordinates and stuff. Like, this is something that I'm interested in. This is something I've done digitally a lot in my game stuff, and it's something that I want to see if I can do in a physical world as well. IR beacons. Yeah, I can't, yeah. IR beacons is fine for a one-off setup, but, you know, I want something that can be autonomous itself, or as close as possible. So anyway, we're going to build a board now, and then I'm going to swap it out with what's on there. Well, no, we're going to build a board.
John Clayton says it does all that using ESP32 or Arduino, also camera control, waypoints, etc.
Okay, it might, but Ardu Pilot. But waypoints and cameras is easy. As I said, I want oh, hang on, I just realised it wasn't up on the screen. Pilot. Everything's easy when you don't know how to do it. Yeah, everything, you think everything's going to be easy until you... So this doesn't... I can't see any examples of mechanism... Plain Rover... Okay, right. Rover... Right, that's Rover, that's not mechanism, does it? Sub blimp rover plane copter. Right. Can't see anything here about controlling mechanism and doing what I want to do. Waypoints is easy. Rotation is easy. Camera is easy. Independent rotation and movement and translation. Independent on the one car using just mechanism wheels is not easy. It's extremely difficult. There are... So the reason I rage quit on the code and had so many
John
different
Clayton
versions,
says just look into it offline.
Sure, I can have a look. But again, I don't want to use someone else's black box library. Black box, I shouldn't say that. Someone else's library system. Any possible solution to think of? Make the code massively complicated and chewing memory. No, it's actually not hard to do. I just can't get the maths out. Like there are papers that people have. So what there isn't is here's a whole bunch of C++ code that someone's written based on all these papers that does this, right? But what there is lots of papers of people have written, and even videos, people explaining how it all works, showing all the maths all the way through to do it. Mechanism. I can never spell it. Right, here, maths. Look at all my searching. Maths examples from using mechanism. Okay, hang on. Mechanism. Inverse. Kinematic movement. That's not how you spell mechanism. Mechanism. So, like, as I said, you got the four wheels, right? And so there's three different things, and then it's like, so this is calculating the wheels, right? And then you got to put it through the translation matrices and whatever else. But that lets you move the car or rotate the car, but this still doesn't give you independent translation rotation, right? So this part I got working, but then you need to...
John Clayton says MEECH.
Don't know what that means. Sorry. Right hand and left hand, it's all the same. 16 dimensions. Anyway, it just it took me ages to get this part implemented. And I'm sure many of you could have done it in 10 minutes. Hey, Mihao. But the best I could do is get it to move or get it to whatever. But it's still, this is not designed to be real time. This is still mapping out this is to do a velocity. This says, I want to go this direction using inverse kinematics and I want to get to here. But not, I want to get to here and stop. It's, I want to get to here, so this is my velocity. And I don't want to use, I can't use just a velocity unless I can track how far I've gone and how far I've rotated, right? And this relies, all of the inverse kinematic maths relies on you always knowing what this center W rotation is, okay? Without knowing always what that is, the maths doesn't work anymore. So if it's rotated 3 degrees, that rotation has to come in play. And you can't ask the car with this maths, how far have I rotated? That's the problem. I can't count pulses to know how far I've rotated because the pulses, you can't do that to calculate the pulses, to work it out, because you haven't done it yet, so you don't know. Does that make sense? It's like a circular thing. I can find out after I've done it what the pulses were, but it's too late by then because the calculation's already... Anyway. It was
Alan Madsen says, how about giving Elon Musk a ring? I'm sure some at SpaceX no colon.
I'm sure there are a lot of people that can do this. Maybe even Elon. Who knows? But I can't. I couldn't get it working. Watched videos after videos, and like it all made sense, but I couldn't get the real-time part working, right? I couldn't get it to keep recalculating. So this, my last version here, which was... I set a move. I want you to go forward 1 meter and turn 90 degrees, and then it does an update move, and it's supposed to be calculating all of that, and it doesn't work because current angle can't be calculated, not from the movement, and it's where I stopped. This might work if I get the this might work eventually if I get the magnetometer working, right? But only to detract, but it'll only end up in the right angle, but I still can't use pulses to work out the distance. Anyway, it was a real, like I'm sitting there going, why am I even bothering? Like, why is this important to me? Why am I wasting all this time? Why am I getting so frustrated with this? An absolute encoder. But an absolute encoder doesn't help me because I can't rely on the wheels. I can't count the wheels to find out what it's doing. I need to tell the wheels what it needs to do. And the only way I can do that is the wheels have to be removed from the equation.
Hal 9000 says, paging James Bruton.
He hasn't done this. So I looked at his stuff. He hasn't done this. Well, not what I want to do. He's done all the different components of all this stuff, absolutely. But I couldn't find anything of his that was specific to blah, 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 without him using an IMU and a blah, 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 and a blah, 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 right? He had nothing that was doing it directly off the wheels. And it turns out it's because you can't really do it off the wheels. I just thought he got it from the top right of his screen. What? Anyway, let's get the board built. I don't think everyone's already... I've been waffling for 45 minutes. We haven't started building yet. So let's start building. I've got... It looks like the stencil's not aligned, but it's just typical JLC. The stencil came bowed. But that's okay. I'll push it down. I've got my paste out. Let's start going. Is there anything I need to answer beforehand? tech, yes. We're going to find 3D files to print the SMD assembly wheel on the vinyl. Just look for my videos. I mean, it'll be in GitHub. I think in GitHub, whatever. But I've got a video where I announce it, and I have a link there. I can't tell you off the top of my head, but it's online. Oh, hang on. So distracted again. Videos. Search my channel. V3, it's ready. Copy link. That's the video where I announced the V3 version, and there'll be links in there and whatever. Okay, let's start building, or let's start pasting. I can't see chat, so okay, so you can see the stencil's right. Just have to push it down. Okay, so paste out. I've already mixed the paste. I actually remembered to take the paste out last night. So I had a chance. Whoa. Just gonna make a mess. I'm just putting paste down. Whoa, lots of paste. Blobby blobby. So I can't show you this stuff under the microscope. It's really annoying because I can't capture enough space. I'm just going to move that out of the way just as I paste it, because you can't see anyway. It's all going to be, the view's going to be blocked. Maybe you can hear it, I don't know. The thing I need to check for is this little BGA that you might be able to see. Can you see the little BGA? Just there. 4 little holes. Make sure there's paste there. There is paste there. Good. Can everyone hear me okay with the microphone over there? Okay. Paste this off. Board. Wow, look at that paste.
John Clayton says yes, hear you fine.
Excellent.
Dutch Taurus says 5 times 5. Alan Madsen says sound great.
Awesome, thank you. Look at that pasting accuracy. Oh my gosh. I should do this for a living. Okay, that is pretty awesome. Doesn't mean the board's going to work, but you know. Okay, that will go there. Move this out the way. Now, I actually got, not that I, really overly enthused about hand assembling, but I got a few boards. Oh, you can't even see. I got 10 boards this time because I was feeling very optimistic about it working. And so my plan is, if this one works, I might build another 4 or 5 and stick them on my store. A few people have been asking me about them. And I bought a whole bunch more of the motor controller, the motor ICs, motor driver ICs. I only had 6 left, but now, how many did I buy? I might have bought 100, 160 of them or something. So I can make plenty of boards. Okay, so here it is. I have to refocus the camera. Not that way. Is that in focus? Hopefully maybe good enough. So this is what I wanted the other camera, but anyway. So I'm just going back and forth checking the focus. Okay, I'm going to work from that. I also made a little logo for it. Or that. Okay, I'm going to see if I can turn that down. Okay, that's the logo. Omni Controller. That glare is really frustrating, isn't it? I don't have one of those filters on it. Sorry. Anyway, okay, we'll do our best. We'll do our best.
Hal 9000 says nice logo, Cian.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so around the board here, I've got lots of parts already out, like all the miscellaneous weirdy things, you know, and the Nano S3 and whatever, and hopefully that's everything I need. I've got the ICs here, and then the rest should just be in the turntable, hopefully. Oh no, there's a couple of parts I've got on reel sitting next to me, or in drawers, but anyway, so let's go. I know you can't see me rotating the wheel, but I'm starting with 0.1 microfarad caps. And, okay, here we go. I'll try, you know what? The camera might be in focus for you, but my microscope is not in focus for me. Okay, now it is. Cool. Okay, I'll try to keep it in view. I have mentioned it before, but I'll remind everyone again that the center of the view for me through my eyes is not quite the center of the camera view. So I think I might be putting things somewhere. Hang on a sec. Yep. What is? So I'm looking at my computer. I've got next to me, well, an old MacBook. That's really weird. It must be okay. It's just the outline. Fine. In the I'm looking at IBOM, and IBOM it's got these two parts here next to each other, which is kind of weird. There's a lot of these. I need to place 9 of these, so I'm doing these ones first. These are here. And then I need to turn the board 90 degrees. Okay. Whoa, my stomach just went gurgle, gurgle. And again. Oh, see, was that even in view? I don't know. Okay, and one more for the magnetometer. Okay, so they're the 0.1s. What's next? 10 microfarads. Oh, I'm going to run out of those. I have to get some more. 5 of these. I've overdone it on the caps on the board, and I know I have, but that's okay. Better safe than sorry. Okay, I'm out. I need to get some more. They're just above me. 0603. Okay. I might have a few extras. Lots. That was a, yeah, I'm going to do a refill. You'll be able to see it. So I've got my little thing there, and I'm going to get it out. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not. That'll do for now. I can refill it more later, but now I've got a whole bunch. Okay, I'm in the right spot, can you see? Hope so. Hopefully I'm not putting everyone to sleep. Okay. Ping, here's my computer. 22 nanofarad. These are on a reel, so you have to hopefully without knocking anything. You know, try to get them onto here. Oops. One, two, three, four. Cool. Except that fell into.
Alan Madsen says just sending you a slice of hot pizza.
Thank you very much. Yum. What's on the pizza? What did you make today, Alan? Get off. Hopefully you put pineapple on it.
Alan Madsen says kebabs, sausages and lots of cheese.
Oh, yum. So look at that. I knocked the pad then when the thing fell on it, but it's okay. It just pushed it sideways, the paste. Kebabs. Kebabs on a pizza. Wow, okay. Kebabs, anything kebabs, yum. Okay, I'll do them next. Right, I need 0805 10. Uh-oh. Oh, here. Okay. So,
Alan Madsen says and red pepper and tomatoes.
you lost me at the red pepper. I don't mind red pepper. The problem is everyone, I'm not saying you, I'm not blaming you. Generally, people just overdo the peppers. I find like red pepper, red and green pepper to be a really overpowering taste. So you should only put a little bit. But like, you know, our local chicken shop, which does amazing chicken, really, really yum, and amazing chips and everything. They have an awesome Greek salad, except it's full of peppers, and it's just I can't taste anything else except for them. So yeah.
Alan Madsen says yes, only a little.
Okay, good. Well, thank you very much for the pizza. I'm looking forward to getting it. The other thing I did on this board that I didn't have before is I added ESD on it. All over. So I've got ESD on the power coming in here, the little TVS there, TVS here for the power coming in. I don't know if that's going to even do anything. And I put TVSs on D+, D- as well, which I didn't have before. I've got them, might as well put them on. Okay, next is 10Ks, 9 of them. Holy shit balls. Lucky I've got a whole bunch in here. Okay, so 10K 0402s. One there. Now, I don't know if any of you remember, but on this version, on version 2 and version 3, so on version 1 I hardwired it to the non-PWM for movement and direction version and put it into the step dir direction. These ones, because that was the only one I could, there's the only mode I could get it in when I was bodge wiring it. But these ones by default are set to the PWM turns and moves it, right? So if you want to go forward, you PWM both one direction. If you want to go backwards, you PWM both the other direction. And if you want to turn, you PWM forward one way and back the other way. Does that make sense? Like you do on a normal car. But I've got the solder jumpers on the back where I can change it back to the other mode if I want to.
Alan Madsen says should say from GLS that they are not sure if it is hot when it arrives.
That's okay. I'll admit that I love cold pizza in the morning for breakfast or whenever. Pizza doesn't have to be hot to be good. Just got to be good. So I'm not going to turn this board over right now to show you, because obviously that's going to make a bit of a mess with the paste. But yeah, it's got jumpers on the back, solder jumpers on the back, to be able to switch modes. Okay, that's the last 10k. These are just pull-ups. I squared C. Okay, now 1k2s. Okay, those are not in my thing, they're over here. Okay, 1k2. And I need how many? 4. Okay. Get off the tweezers. Clean those. One. Two. Three. So, the eagle-eyed among you might have recognized that this was an SPI header before, this connector. Can you even see the labels? You probably can't even see the labels. There you go. It was an SPI header before, and now it's not. So I ran out of I/O when I did the V2 one. And even though the V2 board still had this as an SPI camera header for those SPI based cameras that I want to put on, which I'm not going to do now. I'm going to do a Raspberry Pi camera. So I ended up just breaking out I/O. But when I did the V2 version, I didn't have enough I/O left to do a CS pin. So on the V2 version, I actually hard coded the CS pin. So that bus. That device on the bus was always selected. But I ended up just scrapping the idea of doing that and just broke out I/Os anyway. So there's 4 extra I/O here. And the plan was that I could always run an external stepper driver or something from those if I wanted to put that extra access on. Okay, that's all of those. Okay. 0 ohm. Zeros. Why have I... don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 0 ohm. Why are these 0 ohm? Hold on a moment. There's probably a very good reason why, and I just can't remember. But so I'm just quickly looking at why these are 0 ohm. And coffee's getting cold. When I say getting, it's already cold. So just bear with me a second. I want to. Oh my god! Let me select the part. Oh, it's the VREF, right? So it's just tied to. It's being tied to 3.3 volts. So because it's just the VREF, I don't need an adjustable VREF signal on this. I don't have to worry about whether it's going to 5 volts or 3 volts for the voltage reference. It's 3.3 volts. So I could have just done this directly to 3.3 volts without the 0 ohm. But this gives me the ability to block it or bodge it or whatever if I need to ever. Okay, so 5K1. Okay, but you can't tell what these are for. And there's actually one more. Oh, no, that's an 0603. Okay, I'll get that one in a moment. Forgot about that. 100K. What? No, that's not right. What's going on here? Okay. It's been so long since I did this board that I'm struggling to remember. Oh, right, okay. Yep, all good. 10K, 100K. I thought that was the reset circuit for a minute. But no, it's not. Okay, so TVSs. Lots of little TVSs. How many do I need? 4. 1, 2, 3. It's like a echo silence chamber in here. It's I feel like I'm just talking to myself. I'm assuming there are people there, but I have no idea because I can't see my computer screen. It just makes me feel like I'm talking to myself.
HAL 9000 says echo, echo.
Thank you. Okay, and one here. And one more over here, which again, as I said, is likely pointless. But
Alan Madsen says 63 is looking right now.
Ajout Vauk says onions are not on pizza.
onions on pizza's okay. Where's the pineapple? Where's the pineapple?
Mihao says you can do it.
Do it, do it. You can do it. Okay, diodes. Bum, bum. These are just for back feed. on there.
Hal 9000 says onions belong on burgers and hot dogs.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're starting a food war. No. Okay. I need to go back. I need to get the... So I need an 0603.
Alan Madsen says a pizza with pineapple only belongs in one place. In the trash.
In my stomach. In my tummy is where it belongs. Absolutely. Yum yum. Pizza and pineapple is...
Mihao says N3 ver heat the dog to make him hot.
I missed that.
Amanda Thompson says yes. Pineapple on pizza is the best.
Hal 9000 says I like pineapple on pizza.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to like it and you don't have to eat it. But there is no way it belongs in the trash. At all. It might be an acquired taste, like Vegemite. That's okay. I love Vegemite. I eat Vegemite off a spoon. Yum. But, you know, there are plenty of Aussies that don't like Vegemite. There are plenty of people around the world that don't like Vegemite.
Hal 9000 says but then I like pineapple.
Pineapple's yum, but on a pizza it's...
SDG Electronics says, did you try Marmite when you were over here, Cian?
We had Marmite here as well for to try to get people who didn't like Vegemite. I wasn't overly big fan of Marmite. I didn't eat a lot of it. But when I was
Alan
over there, I
Madsen
could
says,
get Vegemite.
funny how many people eat something that should be in the bin or under ice cream.
It's funny how many people eat stuff that should be in the bin. That is just so good. So good. But I wouldn't take it out of the bin to eat it though, right? Does that count? Like, you know. So yeah, like when I was living in the UK, Steve, it was you could get Vegemite. So I got Vegemite. But yeah, I've tried Marmite and Bovril, was it?
Alan Madsen says same.
Is it Bovril, the other one, Steve, that you guys try to push on people? Sorry, that was rude of me. Push on people was that was nasty to say that. I apologise.
Amanda Thompson says I am allergic to Vegemite.
Really allergic, as in allergic.
SDG
or just...
Electronics says, yeah, Bovril, but it's better for gravy or cooking than a hot drink.
Right. Okay. Because people tried getting me to So you're actually allergic, or is it like a mental allergy, or is it a you actually like you come up in hives or whatever? Well, not hives, whatever. You know what I mean? Is it like a physical allergy? Really? Where's pin 1 sound? Oh, JLC. Terrible silk screen. Terrible. Pin 1. Where is you? Oh, there's the dot. Okay, right, I'm good. So we used to joke here.
Alan Madsen says I'm a vegetarian of the 2nd degree. Cows eat grass. I eat cows.
Look at the bottom of this chip. I just pulled the chip out of tape, right? So there's a tape. I just pulled the chip out of tape. Look at the bottom. Can you see the bottom? I'm just going to check the other ones. Is it just...
Amanda Thompson says yes, anaphylaxis to Vegemite.
Jeez, sorry to hear. It's not like you can mistakenly eat it though, right?
Mihao says those components won't put themselves on the PCB. Winking face.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just thought the packaging, like how messy it was on the back, was interesting. It's not like, you know,
Fartman says moo.
It's not like eating like something that's got nuts in it that you weren't aware because you can't see the nuts. There's no mistaking eating Vegemite, right? Like, you know, you can't mistakenly not see it or smell it. So that's a good thing. But so growing up, we used to joke that Vegemite was made at the where they
Hal 9000 says they look fake as the top and bottom half don't align.
well, they're not fake, but I thought it was just interesting the way the packaging looked from the bottom. We used to joke that the Vegemite was made out of the offcuts and the waste when they used to make tires for cars. Because, like, for someone that doesn't eat Vegemite or their first time, like, it's really pungent and it's really can be really off-putting, right? Like, it's definitely an acquired taste, I think. But yeah, I love it. It's great. I can't remember if I think Yaz will eat it, but she doesn't normally eat it. My kids like it. So that's good. Okay, so we are left with, well, there's quite a few, all the big stuff's got to go on now. So I should just start, get it out of the way. Actually, I'm going to put the magnetometer on now. Good luck with that one. So let me see if I can get one. Okay.
Hal 9000 says save plants, eat vegans.
Eggplant, die, dead. So this is the magnetometer. Can everyone see it? I mean, really.
Alan Madsen says a vegan and a vegetarian jumped off a cliff. Who won?
The meat eaters. That's who won.
Amanda Thompson says also anaphylaxis to hops, nuts, and yellow food dye.
Oh.
John Clayton says so Vegemite is soylent green.
Alan Madsen says society.
Society one. Yeah, I was going to say, the meat eaters. Society, same thing. Yeah, that's really funny. No offense to the vegans and vegetarians. It's just a funny joke. Okay, so let's do this. It's soylent green. It's absolutely radioactive. Okay, that is the that's the Nano S3 on. Okay, I now need, let's put the big electrolytic caps on. I really don't like the way they package these, that they don't sit flat. Like the legs sit, so like when you put it on, it's got that wobble. Like, couldn't they package them in such a way that they sit flush? Not that it really matters, but I always find them annoying to hand place. When you put them down, you can't really tell if you're putting them on an angle or not. See that? The back and forwards? It's frustrating. Could you even see what I just did? No, not even in view. I apologise. Okay, we're almost there. Believe it or not. It's just all these big, annoying things. And then I've got to reflow it awkwardly on the hot plate. Whoops. Okay,
Intermit says still don't have a bigger hot plate than that tiny little thing, or at least not one you like?
I'm using the MHP50. No, I've got the other ones. Like I've got like the one that the Rover's sitting on at the moment. But they're just all too high. They're just too awkward to work with. I could plug that in and reflow it, sure.
Alan Madsen says what's wrong with the oven since you don't use it?
What's wrong with what oven? What do you mean? I can't stick this on my oven on my Lime. It's it's not mesh, it's conveyor, like it's edge rail. Like this would just fall. Like there's nothing to hold it. Like you got to put panel.
Alan Madsen says toast oven.
Oh, it's forever in pieces. It's in pieces again at the moment. Like whenever I'm developing a Reflow Master Pro, I'm jumping between 2 or 3 different Reflow Master Pros, and you know, hacking this fan in, hacking that fan in, and whatever else. So I just released my 3.0.1 update, and I mean I can get it back together easily, but it's down the other end of the office right now, and there's no Reflow Master Pro connected to it because I'm out of screens. I've got another 100 screens coming, and so I had to take the screen off my development Reflow Master Pro to put with a board with an order. So yeah, it's in a bit of flux at the moment. But yeah, I mean, if it would have been last week, I had the Reflow Master Pro and my toaster oven actually sitting right next to me here, and I could have done it on that. I mean, I could go grab it, put it back together again, and I have to go pinch the screen out of stock. I just don't know if it's worth it. And I can't show you guys it doing it, right? Because I can't show you the reflow. Not that it really matters, but it's nice to be able to see the soldering go whoop, under the microscope or under a camera.
Alan Madsen says OHH, so the oven is between versions.
No, it's just I hacked the crap out of it. Because I need to test with 1 thermocouple, I need to test with 2 thermocouples.
Hal 9000 says I still don't have a cheap yellow display.
Neither do I. Neither do I. Don't feel bad. Not everyone has to have them. So yeah, my Reflow Master Pro is constantly being mistreated, which is okay. I mean, that's my. It's more important I'm testing than the occasional use case. Like, if the board doesn't justify going in there, I'm doing it on the hot plate. It's much quicker and easier for me to do it on the hot plate. Okay, I think we're good. That's everything on there. I can plug the other hot plate in, but I can't do it under the microscope. It's too tall.
Mihao says make controller toast itself, new version like 3D printer printing, new 3D printer, winking phase.
There are people that have been working on stuff like that. You can't, it's not that simple. Like for a little tiny board to reflow itself is fine, but otherwise you can't get the temperature high enough. The resistance becomes too much. Like this one here, Quindor, that's probably my favorite in terms of if I have to like do it. Like I've used it plenty, like there's plenty of stains on it. It's got plenty of use, but it's really high. Like I've only got this much space under the microscope. But I can plug it in and use it. So it depends. Do you want to see it reflowing, or do you want to not see it reflowing?
Intermid Tech says yeah, I use the 10x 10 centimeters a lot.
I want one of those half the height, ideally.
Mihao says yes. Intermid Tech says oh, that's it. I don't use a microscope with it.
Right, and if I don't need a microscope, then I can use that as well. But also don't like, it takes a long time to heat up, and it takes ages to cool down afterwards, which always worries me because I need to move it out the way, and I'm scared I'm going to forget and touch it or lean on it or set something on fire. So I'm going to do it like I did last time, and I'm going to, whoops, here's my computer. I'm going to do it under the little hot plate for you all, okay? For you all and for me. It's not that hard, just going to move it around, burn my fingers, you know, that type of stuff. You know, what's the worst that's going to happen? Let's not answer that. Okay, just bear with me a second while I get it ready. I've turned it on. I mean, like it almost fits, right? I can do it in 2 halves. Not that you can see. Let me just... Is that in focus enough? Not really. Come on, which way? No. Maybe that's in focus enough. I need to put the extraction fan on. But you see, I can't even show you the whole width of the thing. But the board is actually the width of the hot plate. The height of the hot plate. So it's 3/4 on right now. Okay. Exhaust fan is on. Up to 90 degrees. I still can't get this above 19 volts, Steve. I mean, yeah, my adapter is doesn't matter, whatever. It works. But it takes about 3 minutes to heat up to temperature. And the temperature is still out completely. Like it still reflows at 208 degrees. So, but I haven't looked for a while to see if there's another update, another firmware update. I just got used to using it the way it is. Oh, there's smoke coming off. 136 degrees. I also like reflowing it under a microscope just for me. Forget the camera, right? Like when I'm just assembling stuff, because I can, you know, easily nudge any components while it's reflowing if I need to, like the little TVSs or something. So it's much easier to do it while it's reflowing under a microscope than it is to do it afterwards.
Alan Madsen says smoke. Is it from pizza leftovers?
What? Smoke? No, it's flux, fluxy flux. But I mean, it could be blue smoke when I plug it in. Who knows? Okay, 178 degrees. $190. See, it's almost...
Mihao says, were you ever verifying temperature precision of the hot plate?
Yeah, it's about 7 degrees off my multimeter, but who says my multimeter is also perfect, right? So, as long as it reflows, and as long as it doesn't burn the flux off too quickly, then I'm fine, honestly. So it's 3 minutes and 15 seconds to get to 210 degrees. A little bit slow in my liking. Okay, it's starting to reflow at the top. You might be able to see there in the cap.
Ajoudvok says it's working.
Yep, it's going.
Intermid-Tech says, yeah, I always use low temp paste too, so I don't need to go very high anyway, so less risk to burn components.
Yeah, I generally don't use low paste temp anymore at all. And if I have to do any hand soldering on it, like for these screw terminal, I make myself use water-based paste. So that way I can... Whoa, so look at that magnetometer. Bloody BGA parts. So I have to clean it afterwards. Okay, so that's side half is done, and we're going to move it over, hopefully, without breaking anything. Now we're doing this half. I mean, I very rarely have to nudge anything, but I'd rather nudge it as it's going, if I have to. So I'm just getting this bottom corner, just over here. It hasn't quite reflowed yet. It's coming.
Mihao says yeah, but low temp is forbidden in EU, except for hobbyists or fixing stuff.
No. Not not leaded. You can get low temp lead free. Perfectly fine in the EU. It's just not necessarily great long term. Like it's the solder joints can break down and it's much more brittle. The bismuth they use is very brittle. So it doesn't do for like you wouldn't want to use low temp on a board that has any
Intermid Tech says yeah, I use 138C low temp, but it's for prototypes for me only. Production is all high temp paste.
Yep. I know. Okay, I'm taking it off. Oh, don't drop it. Okay. Okay. Let's let that cool down. I'm gonna come back over here just for a little bit. Yeah, low temp. I mean, prototyping is fine, but even shipping product with it is fine, as long as you understand the use cases it's not good for. Like
Intermid Tech says dropping a hot PCB and moving all the components is instant, whole day ruined.
Oh man, I've done that before. You take it off really slowly, you're going like this, and then just as you're about to put it down, you forget that there's something next to your elbow and you knock your elbow and all the parts go. So what I generally do now is when I take it off the hot plate, I'll take it off like vertically, right? And then I take my time moving it, not because I'm worried about knocking it. By the time I've moved it, 10 or 15 centimeters, it's cooled down enough that it's past the reflow boil point, right? So even if I knock it, the chance of actually knocking something off is very small. I've stopped using. Oh really? So what are you using now, Steve? Like you don't do anything on the hot plate? Oh, I find it really convenient. And also like for any rework, definitely on the hot plate. But so what are you using instead? Too many drops. Right, yeah, okay. Yeah, we've all been there. But until you've done what I used to do on my line, then drops from the hot plate is nothing. When you forget to adjust the conveyors and your board comes off the pick and place machine and then goes whoo, and falls on the floor before it gets to the oven, that's completely demoralizing. Modify smallest fan. 8 kilowatts of heating elements? What? Are you insane? Is it like a 10-second reflow? Wait, I gotta turn that fan off. That is annoying. Okay, 134, and no, there's been no power outage yet. That's actually really good. I'm glad. Okay, fan is off. Needs three-phase power. Is that what the RMP is driving? Wow. Okay, is it working well? Hope it's working well. Okay, so that is... Let's cool down. Okay. It is cooled down. So that's the board we just assembled. And you can see on the back, they are the jumpers that can change. So what I did, instead of setting doing jumpers for all four, I've got a jumper for one side and the other side, which obviously you can't, well, I could make them different, there's no point. But I couldn't easily get one jumper for all of them because I would have been having too many signals crossing. I would have broken up the ground plane too much. So I end up doing just one on each side. So anyway, that's there, and let's plug it in and see if at least powers up. What's that? Oh, sorry, banging outside. I think it's the rubbish bin man collecting. Okay, so I'm just going to do it like this and watch it go boom.
Ajout Vauk says power outages are your local supplier or local street.
Well, the Nano works. Oh, would you like? No. I got a notification yesterday letting me know that there's going to be a power outage from 10 till 2 today in a business factory area. It's the whole, I don't know if it's the factory complex or whatever, but 10 till 2 is a power out, complete, like no power. But before 10, there could be power interruptions. From 7 till 10, power could go down. So I warned people on Discord yesterday that the power could just disappear. I should have mentioned it at the start of the stream as well. The power could just disappear at any moment here. So just letting you all know. But it hasn't, not yet, but at 10 o'clock it will. So I'll go home and work from there. So yeah, no smoke, yay. I mean, I didn't expect any smoke. And that Nano is just running CircuitPython at the moment, just cycling that thing, so it's got to be reflashed. But, so what I need to do, the first thing I need to do is see if I can recognize the magnetometer, because it's a little BGA package, you can't tell if it's reflowed properly or not. And you can't just knock it around like a normal part, because if you knock it around too much, you can strip the solder ball off one of the pads or off one of the ball spots, and then you're screwed. So you can't just nudge it. I mean, it looks like it's on and it looks like it's flat. So what I need to do is, so we go to here. I'm going to go to my old code. Remember I said I duplicated the code. I can't remember what state my old code was in though, whether it was working or not before. Or should I do it in here? Okay, maybe I'll just do it in here. So I've not done any of I've not touched this code for like weeks, because like it was a legitimate dummy spit rage quit. Totally legitimate. Blowtorch reflow when there's no power. Candle reflow. God, that will take a while, wouldn't it? Sounds like emergency repair or transformer. I don't know, but it's 4 hours going down. That's pretty bad for a factory area. Like, why can't you do it on the weekend? And the thing didn't say emergency planned, whatever. It said scheduled planned.
Rick the Almighty says rage quits for the win.
I spat the dummy a few times on things I was working on over the last few weeks, let me tell you. Okay, anyway, so what I'm going to do is, so my TinyWatch code base uses this magnetometer. So I'm going to just steal code from myself, as you do. So I'm gonna, so it's an Adafruit library. Right, that's the other thing I want to add. I'm going to add. So I'll turn that back on. Let's see if it likes it. One thing I found really annoying is like if the car's going and I need to pick it up, and it's still moving, but I want it to stop, but I need to, like, I can't just stop it by holding it. I want to stick a little time of flight sensor on the bottom of the car looking down, and so we can detect if it's on something or not. So if I walk up to the car to pick it up and it's moving, it'll know to stop. It'll cancel whatever its command is. So yeah, gonna do that too. So IMU. I'm going to steal my code. How funny, I'm stealing my code from one place to use it somewhere else. Is it going to let me copy? Will it let me copy? Oh, it did. Excellent. Except it's not going to like a few of these things. So that one can go. They can go. It's going to, yeah, have a hissy fit. That's okay. Oh God, it might be quicker to do this from scratch. Oh we'll see. No, don't need those. No, don't need pre-init. Init, maybe I'm ready. I don't have an IMU on there. There's no point having one. See on software license, this code is only free to those that like pineapple on their pizza. 100%. That I'm going to do that, AJ. Thank you. Hey, Milosh, how you doing? What are we building? So this is a V3 version of my Omni Controller PCB, the one that controls my mechanism thing that, yeah. And hello, MM38. Hello, Sean. Hello, all the people that I missed coming in, like Quindor, which I've been talking to, but I didn't say hi. Sorry, Quindor. While I was over there, I didn't see people coming in. And anyone was scared away with the pineapple talk, or like Amanda. Hello, Amanda. Or again, chatting with Amanda. Didn't say hi. Yeah, if we're scared anyway with the pineapple talk, I apologize. Okay, serial.print line. Oops. Because I don't have info print. And that is pointless. I don't even know. That's IMU ready, don't need. Next IMU read, whatever. Don't need these. So the reason I'm grabbing this code is so one of the functionality inside TinyWatch that was, oh, hang on one second. What's what? Oh, never give me. Okay, sorry. So TetraDB on Discord anyway wrote some calibration code. I mean, fixed my calibration code and then wrote some better calibration code, whatever, for TinyWatch to calibrate the IMU, which works exceptionally well. But the downside is to calibrate it, you need to rotate the watch kind of like this, right? And you need to keep doing it. But there are 3 circles on the screen that have to align. And when you've done that, then you know that the magnetometer has been calibrated. Hey, Dave. So I'm going to put that same code here, but the problem is there's no display that we can use to know if it's calibrated. So I'm going to have to somehow hook up something with the RGB LED or whatever to know what it's doing. So, okay. Don't need step counter setup. Wait, no, don't need that. Don't need hibernate. Don't need process steps. Don't need get steps. Don't need the RD. Get movement activity. Nope. 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 Don't need all these things. No, don't need gyro. Don't need pitch and roll because they're not there. Right. We're going to need get magnetic. Right. Okay. And just looking at face. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this working easily today. But we'll see. I have to replace all this setting stuff. What? Are his wheels turning or noise or blinks? No, it's got to be, can't be calibrated on the car. I don't want to well, I need to get a calibration system working first. Calibrating on the car would make sense because it needs to be able to compensate for any of the magnetics around it, right? But I don't know what people are going to be doing with it they might not put this on a car, or like, you know what I mean? Or I don't know what they're going to do. So it needs to be able to be calibrated regardless of what it's being attached to. Dealing with the kids, then driving to the city, which is always exciting and fun. I hate driving to the city. Hate it. Hope you're well. Haven't spoken in a while. Okay, so that means we can rip out, what do we need? Rip out those. Print it, was gone. Looking at face, hibernate, gone. All those are gone. Wake, yep, gone. We'll keep that. Hecky yaw. That was mine. Hecky yaw. Movement activity, step count, gone. Okay, so the question is, oh, this won't compile. Not yet. So I don't have a setting system in here at the moment. I will, I guess, eventually add one. So we need to settings group, settings extra, config haptics, UTT, audio. Wait, what? Oh, it's here in apps. Okay. So we need these values. We can just put them in here for now. These are what need to be calculated to do the thing. You can notify users what should do in many ways. I agree, Mihal, but I don't know what they're going to have, so I'm not going to implement things that notify them in a certain way when I don't know if they'll have that way. And for now, I just want to see if I can get it working just on the board. So the reason I'm getting these in here now is because I can't compile it without it. So, okay, we're going to find that and replace it with nothing. Did I remove get your, did I? That was clever. We need get your. Okay. Oh, is it using get pitch and roll? Oh, for compensate, right. So this will only work with the IMU? What? Okay, wait. Let's... If this is also using the IMU, then we are in big trouble. Big trouble. So this is the calibration code, and then yep, it's using get your, and it's using IMU compensation. Great. Oh, wait. Yep, it's using okay, so that's going to be interesting. So what is it using IMU compensation for? Here's the thing. It's using, we don't have to use IMU compensation. The IMU compensation for the compass. So a compass is designed to work like this, right? And it can't understand what happens when you go like this. So this will work, but the second you do any tilting any other axes, the values get skewed. So you use the whole 9 axes. You use the first 6 axes to compensate for the tilt angle to then deal with, so it flattens it out, which gives you this again. Now, in this case for me, bad assumption, I know, but for this version of it, whatever, I'm going to assume always that it's flat, that I'm on flat ground. I'm not on it tilted, I'm not going down, I'm not going up, I'm not twisted. The board's not being mounted on the side. The board's being mounted flat and the car's flat for this use case. For anything beyond that, it would need a full 9 axes on there, which, yeah, I should have jumped through this code first, maybe, but I don't particularly didn't want to stick another. Anyway, whatever. Oh boy. So we are going to not do we're just going to do this one. Yeah, that sucks. Okay, so the question is, does this compile? I'm looking at the clock going, I'm pushing my luck on the power. Okay, compiling. Now, I can always add external 6-axis IMU because I stuck an I2C stemmer connector on here. So one can be added, no problem, externally via that. It doesn't have to be on the PCB. Okay, that compiles, so I should be able to flash it and then see if the magnetometer is detected. So I'm going to put it into download mode. Because CircuitPython's on there, to flash it the first time it has to be in download mode. Because the USB port CircuitPython presents, even though you can see a serial port, it's not flashable in Arduino or Platform IO or IDF or anything. It's not a real serial port. So, okay, so 0 reset. It's now in download mode, so all the LEDs have stopped. And I'm going to flash it. So that throws a lot of people who are using my boards for the first time, actually, is that they keep getting errors when they try to flash it. Because I ship CircuitPython on there. Which I think is a really good first user experience for people, want to get into embedded stuff. Okay, so it's working because the LED is working. It's actually now online. That's pretty cool. So the question is, did it find it? And we're not going to know unless we get the serial port open. Well, actually, no, I didn't. I'm an idiot. And what I didn't do is actually include it, but that's okay. That would be useful. And then we need to initialize it. Which is in it. Yep. God, I'm an idiot. Well, at least I flashed the board, so we know that the USB and everything works, and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to put that delay back on to make sure serial is working, and we're going to go imu.init, and that should tell us if it finds a magnetometer or not. It should print some logs out. You see here, it's trying to actually run the wheels right now. But I've got no ability to give it feedback. So it doesn't do anything. So that was writing a lot of code. It was writing a lot of code and fighting with ChatGPT. because ChatGPT is useless for reading maths documentation. Anyway, hey ChatGPT, you know, why do you think this code's not working? And what does it give you back? It gives you a whole reasons why, and then it gives you some code back that is like not even on the same planet as the code you're in, and it's changed all your variable names and function names and added new variables that it hasn't even declared anywhere. Like, it's just getting worse. It's okay. So we're never going to see the logs with this going through. So once again, sounds being an idiot. Okay, if not move complete. Yeah, how about we just skip all of this? No loop movement code. So we can see the actual log. So anyway, yeah, context, not even context switching, just context holding in ChatGPT has just become so abysmal. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that. Okay, let's refresh it again. We're almost at the can I find the IMU bit. Not the IMU, the magnetometer. Okay, serial connecting. Oops, no, so it didn't find it. Great. Interesting. Hey, Platinum21. Yeah, I really try to stay away from ChatGPT all the time because it's just gotten really slow and worse. It's just like I'll ask it questions, just general questions now, occasionally. What's another word for whatever? Right? If I'm trying to think of a word and I can't think of a word or something, or you know, what's it called if you do blah blah blah. But when it comes to code, like it's just become abysmal. So I wonder if it's using the right bus, like it should be. NOS 3. Just using the default bus. I have to look what I have to. If it lets them go, yeah, God help us all. Crap in, grab out. Hey, Terran Visitor. Yeah, it's just, oh my God, it can't. Oh, anyway, I'm not even going to go. I'm not going to go into it. You know what we'll do on a stream one day? We should do. It'd be hilarious. We're going to do a coding session with ChatGPT. Okay? And I'll show you exactly how quickly I can confuse the crap out of it. I'm going to load up the Arduino IDE. And go away. New, go away. I need to turn off serial here, or it'll crack the shits. And NanoS 3. And I'm going to load up some I2C scanning things. I want to see if maybe I've just got the thing wrong. The thing wrong. Yeah, no. Arduino I2C scanner. I've got different versions. Don't know. Okay, let's flash this and see if you can even find it. Using some generator for the method description. What do you mean method description? What do you mean by description? That's not my code, that's Adafruit's library, but oh, right. Well, yeah, I hate Doxygen. I do like this manually, like, you know, well, for TinyWatch, for instance, you know, like I've put some small amounts of stuff in there. It's really hard to maintain, especially with a moving code base. So, you know, some stuff has, some stuff doesn't. I don't know, I think the documentation systems for the C++ side are terrible. I hate them. Python's got a much nicer thing for generating of and whatever. I tried early on to have ChatGPT write docs as markup, and it does a really good job. I gotta say, it does a really good job, except it can't do the same thing twice in a row. So if you tell it to write docs, and then you tell it to write the same doc again, it'll be different. Even if your description is exactly the same, it'll be different. So, yeah, that's a real problem. What happened to my serial output? No I2C devices found. Well, that's not good. So, before I go and reflow it again, let's have a look at the board and make sure I haven't done something stupid. Wouldn't be the first time. Hands up if you make stupid mistakes on your board designs. Often. Okay. Stop liking you. How dare you say anything bad about C++? Good things about Python. No, I'm talking about the documentation system is terrible. And the auto-doc solutions. And there are some, but you got to have this framework that talks to this framework, then converts it to this format, which then converts it to this format, that can then get it into a format that can work with Doxygen. Like, seriously? How about someone invents like just a really good documentation system? That'd be great. Thanks. Okay. So it's being pulled up. Okay, what I need to do is put another I2C device on the bus through the port and see if it finds that, right? Because I think that, if I do that and it can find it, then I know it's the magnetometer. And if I do it and it can't find it, that does not have a STEMMA QT port. I need like a sensor board or something. Hold on, I've got some things lying around, I think. For a head. Not that. Nope. That old magnetometer board. Wow, where's just a sensor board when you need one? Here we go. Here's actually a different magnetometer. Oh, see, that's interesting. That's what I could have done. Here's a PicoDev one. This is the one that I tried using on Tanky number 1 that I couldn't get calibrated properly. I wonder if the footprint is the same. If the footprint was the same as in the pinout, because it's the same package. If the pinout's the same, I could just put one of my magnetometers on this. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I need a cable. So I just got up and walked away and went down. And, oh, what is that? Well, it doesn't matter. Here's a BME 280. I'll just plug it in because it's already got a cable stuck into it. We'll see if we can find it. Okay, so this is just looping. Clear. Okay, it found it. It found the BME 280, and it didn't find. Oh, battery's charged. Okay, sorry. So turn the charger off. I was just charging the 3S battery. Okay, so I know it's not the bus. So it's got to be the reflow of the thing. So I'm going to unplug it. Let's go back to the hot plates. Yay. We'll have a look at it. I'm just going to move the hot plate out of the way. I'm actually going to start it heating anyway. So, it's going to be real hard to see what you can see. I'm looking at my computer screen to try to see if you can see what I can see. Anyway, right, so maybe not sitting flat. It's really, I don't know where your focal point is. Let me just go back and do this. Where's your focal? Somewhere around there, I hope. So this here, it could be that it's not on properly. I can give it a bit of flux and see if I can get it on. I know pin 1's in the right spot. I can always maybe swap it for another one. I don't know. Let's. Oh, that's hot. I'll do me first, and then I'll do you. Oh, it's back to front. Yay! Hang on. Okay. Now focus. Come on. Is that focused for you? Hopefully good enough. I don't understand why this has to be such a little package. Give me a bigger package that's easy to reflow. It's also the most problematic part I've got on my tiny watch. I would gladly use a bigger package if I could get one. Oh, too much. Shit. Pulled it away too quick and then... Oh well, it's going to have to get cleaned anyway, so... And no, I don't have the fan on. I'm not going to worry about the fan, just turn it on, turn it back off again. That is way too much flux. Makes it very hard to see. Okay, it's up to 195 degrees. It's so quiet without the fan going. Bloody flux. Okay. just be too much. Now I've screwed it. Might have just screwed it. Yeah, I might have just knocked it accidentally and maybe pulled a ball off. Okay, well, if that doesn't work, I'll try swapping it with another one. That was annoying. I was being so careful and then went touched the top of it by accident and pushed it down. Real new thing with smart. We're talking C++ stuff. Cool. My most favourite topic to talk about. Just kidding. Okay. I'm just letting that cool down, but I might have wrecked it. I found a use case the other day where you can't use const express. Can't remember what it was. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Christian, you're right. It's nice that you have access to docs inside the code, but where does that docs come from? And a lot of the time you look at the docs and all it is a description of what the function name is with its variables. And what's the point of that? If you write a very clear function name and give your function variables very clear names, you don't need any documentation for it, not in code anyway, right? So unless you're going to write all the extra code that says, this is what the function does, and you need blah, 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 and it relies on blah, 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 and blah, 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 and whatever, then who writes that? People don't write that. So you just end up with the function name extrapolated out into lots of characters for no reason. Anyway. That's what I find most people do. A++, yeah, increment A, exactly. Like it's just like if that's what it is. Like the only reason in my code that I showed before, where the ones that I did have, the only reason they were there is so Doxygen would pick them up and they'd be included. That was the only reason that was there. But I think it's pointless. Okay, let's see. I'm going to put the other one back in again, just to make sure that the bus is still working. I'm going to plug it in and found one devices. So maybe I got the pinout wrong. Maybe. Maybe I connected the I2C back to front. I don't think so. Oh, you couldn't see my screen. Sorry, it's still only finding one device. So here's something most of you haven't seen. Remember I did my TinyWatch P8 revision? Well, I didn't get that prototyped and I made a P9, and then I didn't get that prototyped and I made a P10, which is now being prototyped at JLC. So this is what TinyWatch now looks like. Whoa. Well, I'll show you. That's what TinyWatch now looks like. And that's the P10 version that's gone into prototyping. And I broke out a whole bunch of I/O, including I2C for people, through these little pads on the side that are deliberately unlabeled because there's no room for labels. Anyway, the point of bringing that in is magnetometer, STL, STA. Right. 3.3 volts ground. Right, which is pretty much what I've got. SCL, SDA, which is 9 and 8, 3.3 and ground. From here the Castle edge looked soldered offset. The Castle edge? Oh, the castellated edge? So what, on the Nano? No, that's perfect. Yeah, it's camera. So no, the Nano's soldered fine, and the I2C bus wouldn't work at all if it was a castellated edge soldering issue, because they're using this. It's a shared bus, so if it can find one device, it should be able to find all the devices. Yeah, weird. Very, very weird. I mean, all I can do is try swapping it with another one. So I guess we'll do that, because I need to see if I can get it working. So back to here. I'm the system architect of a system I started writing 8 years ago. I'm very glad I followed the readable code rule. I'm revisiting 10-year-old code at least once a month. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember what I did on my code yesterday, so you know. Okay, heat up again, and let's get another one. Now I thought I got 2 of those magnetometer boards. Where's the other one? Because I could try swapping one over on that as well. I don't know where I put the board. That's annoying. Oh well. No. Tweezies. Come on, Tweezies. Let me see if the ball's on the bottom. No. They're there. Could also just be an issue with the PCB. Who knows? Tell you what I do know. They're too small. They're absolutely too small. Stupid. Okay, waiting for the heat up. If we look, can I get in the center? Okay, if you look from the center, maybe you can see the castellation's fine. It's all good. Like that, you know, from this angle here, that looks like it's not reflowed, but when I look from the angle, it is reflowed. Like it looks like there's a gap there, but there's not. It's all optical illusion. It's all optical disillusion. Yeah, that looked like it was sitting proud. Okay, I'm taking that off. That's gone. Now the problem is, now that my tweezers have got gunk on them again, how do I get the orientation right and still be able to put it down? See, it's stuck on the edge of my thing. I need to pre-turn it, but I can't see what direction. And every time I put it down, it changes direction. No. I think that way. Okay, that's the dot. See, it automatically sits funny. Okay. last attempt for today, I think. Let's see if that goes on. That worked. Documenting code is a contentious topic. Yeah. More explanation is better than less on something that's extremely hard to understand. But yeah. So I'm just reading back. So it's on a high level plus a couple of positions, like. Yeah, or you just don't document your code at all, and people can't read it. Bad luck. Bad luck. Like, what you gonna do? Okay. Dun 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 dun. It's still a bit warm. I'll let it cool a bit more, but I'm going to plug this one in. Stick it on the bench, which will suck the heat out. Going by current norms, I have the pleasure to document every line, but only to the point of conditionals and return values. What? This conversation is getting way too rabbit hole documentation wise. Okay, here we go. Still a bit warm. Found 2 devices, so it was the other one. How weird. It's now finding it. Oh my god, you can't see. Bloody hell, it's finding it. It's finding it. So it's now finding both. And if I pull the atmospheric sensor out, it'll only find one. Okay, so now we can go back to this code. Okay, yay. By Arduino. So if we reflash this code, it should say that it finds it, which then still doesn't necessarily help us, because we're not going to get accurate data yet until we can find out how to calibrate it.
Mihao says it's alive.
But yes, it is live. Did I leave the serial port open? I did. Oh, just go away, Arduino. You're drunk. Okay, try it again. It's really frustrating that you can't flash a board when the serial port's open somewhere else. Like, it should be able to nudge it and go, hey, stop serial output and flash yourself. Hey Christian, I'm supposed to find out the model of your pliers. Pliers? My tweezers? Do you remember my tweezers? Oops, I forgot to now open the serial port. What a friggin' pain. Okay, let's just reset. Hang on. If it's my tweezers, yes, I'll show you in a moment. Okay, found. It found it. Yay. Okay, these are my tweezers. And I buy them in bulk. They're Vetus, and they're the ESD17. And they are, for me, they're the best angle. They've only got the small rotation. They say it's 40 degrees. I don't necessarily agree. I don't like the ones that really curl over, and I don't like using the straight ones. But here's the thing, that you can get all sorts of brand ESD17s, and they're all shit. Don't care what anyone says. I've tried so many different brands, and none of them close properly. They're all just, the quality control on them are really, really bad. Maybe you can get some good batches, maybe you get some bad batches, I don't know. These are just sensational, and when you open every single one, they are perfect to the tip. And it takes me normally a week, and I wreck them. But that's my fault. They didn't come wrecked. I wreck them. And they're super sharp, and so, like, literally, I buy them in bulk because I never ever want to not have a pair. Ever. And I've got one here, and I've got a couple downstairs, and I've got another one on my, you know what I mean? I got them everywhere. Get the Vitas brand, an actual Vitas brand one. Anyway, I've been using cheap knockoffs, and they last about a week. For me, it's not how long they last. It's that just the tips are not, like I bought a whole bunch from Amazon, and every single pair, the tips didn't go together. If you've got to bend it to make it go together, then forget it. So, yeah, I swear by those. Love them, love them, love them. I wouldn't call them, I don't think they're specifically hardened. I don't know. I mean, but they're good. Like, you know, you need to put a lot of force on them to bend them. But they're really sharp. Really sharp. Oh my god, I stab myself at least 3 times a week with them. Like, anyway, which is normally not a problem unless you've just been dipping them in flux and then you stab yourself and you get kind of a weird red bit of angry skin around it. So that's okay, you just stick your hand in the ultrasonic cleaner and clean it off. I'm joking. Okay, anyway, yeah, so I don't know where to go from here. Probably nowhere today. It's been 2.5 hours and I'm getting close to the power cutoff point. Right in the thigh. Yeah, I've dropped in my thigh before. It's like bizarre. It's like that when you're seeing a movie, right? And something happens and the guy looks down and he's got a knife sticking out of him somewhere and he just looks at the knife going like this, right? It's like you got this pair of tweezers sticking out of your leg. I've done that. I've stabbed myself everywhere. I stabbed myself here with tweezers. Here. Go on, say it. How'd you stab yourself in the face with tweezers, Sion? I'm not going to wait for you to ask me. So when you're holding a pair of tweezers in your hand and you're itchy under your glasses and you want to get in here to do it, don't keep holding the tweezers in your hand when you're trying to get your hand under to scratch, okay? Because what you do is while you're manipulating your finger to get your eye in here to scratch your glasses like this, yeah, you stab yourself in the head with the tweezers. Don't do it. Not recommended. Okay, the calibration code is here. It's in the, well, I'm assuming it's here. It's the drawer. And then that draws the calibrate, but where is the calibrate? I need to go through and understand how the calibration's working. There's a shitload of comments. What? Who what? My comments code ratio is currently 21%. What? 1 million lines of code? What are you writing, AJ? When I was a kid, I used 2 spoons. Isn't that for chopsticks? Interesting way to pierce oneself. Yeah, it wasn't intentional. And it just missed my eye. I was very lucky. Just missed my eye. Like, you just don't think what's in your hand. I'm itchy. Quick. Don't put the tweezers down. Just quickly itch. Yeah, okay. I'm going to have to go through this a lot and work out the simplest way because, yeah, as I said, this relies on these circles to be lined up and, the running states, calibrate. But yeah, I need to go through this and work it all out. So at least we've got the IMU and hang on, I thought I had a do have a, right here. Although this is a 53L1, and I think the code is for L0. I might not be. I've got a whole bunch of the PicoDev. For those that don't know what PicoDev is, this is a Core Electronics range of modules. So Core Electronics are in Australia, and you know, around the time I got my Neoden, my N8, they got one as well. They got theirs arrived before mine did, and they started manufacturing. They don't do development boards, but they do modules and all sorts of stuff, and the stuff's really cool. So this is a time of flight sensor. Like, I know I could make my own, but if I just need a simple time of flight sensor, you know, it's one of their ones. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to plug that in and make sure that it can see that. I'm assuming that I can just use the Adafruit library that I just installed here. So that's an L0X. I don't know if that'll work with the L1. And I think all of Core Electronics drivers are MicroPython drivers. I'm not sure. Childhood. What chopsticks were non-existent in your childhood and country? I'm older than you, but won't say by how much. Are you sure you're older than me? I mean, you might be, but are you sure you're older than me? Because people, until they know how old I am, and still don't believe me, can never guess how old I am. So, you know, just thought I'd share that. Okay, let's go to the examples. If you go to, no, you're close to 50? Yeah, I'm older than you. See, there you go. If you are not 50 yet, I am older than you. By a bit. I'm a time traveler. No, I'm just aging backwards. I'm aging backwards, that's all. So, yeah, you might want to reconsider the... No, I don't care. I'm just shit stirring. Okay, I don't know if it'll work with the L0, but we'll try it. Man is close to 60. You're not supposed to ever tell your age. I never would have asked you. But thank you for sharing. I don't think I'll make it to 60 personally. Just saying. Yeah. Did I not leave that open? Oh, Visual Studio Code. You gotta double click the file to keep it open.
Mihao says here you have your complaint, you don't look like 50. Winking face.
Sure. So I turned 54 this year, like a few weeks ago. So 54. Bloody hell. That is crazy. Okay, so let's see if we can... Let's see if we can just get this reading, and if not, we'll have to find a driver for the L1.
Alan Madsen says, you are old then over half a century.
Yeah. Yeah. all downhill from here. Been downhill for a while, actually. Okay, anyway, loop. Okay, let's see if we can get this. Let's flash this and see if we can get this sensor working. If not, I'll have to find a different driver. Older than half a century. It doesn't even mean anything, half a century. What's half a century? I mean, sorry. Rhetorical question. I know what a half a century is. Just saying, you know. Time is meaningless. It's what you do with your time. Nothing. Okay. Failed to boot. Okay, so yeah, it's not liking the L1 with the L0 driver. I don't know if Adafruit have got a an L1 driver. Adafruit. Wait. Or maybe they'll have a new multi-driver. Right, they've got a 1X. Right, so there's a 1X. Why don't we just do the 1X? See if that works. Reload the 1X instead. Wonder if they've got a driver for every version? Okay, let's see what happens here. Time is why I get so angry when the Arduino compiles take 20 years to build. 20 years to build. Adafruit requirements for your system. Could not find the package with... Really? Oh, bloody underscore. Okay, so that won't be right anymore. And this will be... Nope. That'll be a 1. I'm assuming the API is the same. I could be wrong. Right, there's no start continuous. Of course there's not. So what's their examples now? Great, they've gone from all these different examples to simple test. I don't want to use those. Wow, okay. Bit different. But anyway, start ranging. Set timing budget. What?
Alan Madsen says 50 year. A century is 100 years. Like from 1900 to 2000.
Thank you, ChatGPT, for the unneeded documentation on a century. Yeah, okay. So, wait. I'm not even gonna. Call it. Locks. Okay, that was the start ranging, and then I don't want to do it from the interrupt.
Alan Madsen says you're welcome, but don't ask again or you'll get a different answer.
Oh my god, that's funny. That is really funny. So sad, but funny. Am I missing a bracket?
Amanda Thompson says, can anyone here besides me do math in Babylonian 64-bit math?
Do math in Babylonian 64. Babylonian. 64 maths. Babylonia. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you're talking about. What if I just... No. What? Did I start ranging there? Where's the begin? Hang on. Oh, I've just messed this up. Can't I just call begin on it? Locks begin. Whoops. God, I'm making a mess of this. Okay, I don't know if that's going to work. We'll try it. Sinners almost Babylonians. Almost. So, invented by Americans into but multiples of 10. Hello, Oliver. Babylonia is based 10. So Babylonia as opposed to Babylon, right? Is that what we're talking about? It's a maths thing, not a geographic thing. You guys lost me at base 64. No, it wasn't base 64. 64 would be maths. Anyway. Oh, wow. Oh, crashy poo-poo. Look at that. Yeah. In I2C read. Okay. Probably because I need to pass it the wire thing, because it doesn't like me. Is there really no override for begin? Or for... No, there is not. Wow. So I have to give it shutdown pin and IRQ pin. They're optional, but I have to pass it. Well, it says optional. Are there overrides here? Ah, right, they're just set to -0. Oh, -1. Okay, that's fine. And then so, but begin is looking for. So I have to pass it the wire. Maybe. Which would make sense why it's crashing on the read. But really... What else do I have to pass it? Wait, but this has already got that. So where's it grabbing Y from? YouTube's telling me now is a good time to insert ads. Why do they make this so difficult? I don't understand why they have to make this so difficult for a library, personally. Anyway, oh, wait. Probably I'm doing... Okay, that would also help if I don't load the sensor ID before I've gone through here. Maybe it's that. I had 2 of them in there by accident. Yeah, Java. You see, things went smoothly with the hardware, and now I'm stuck in code hell again. It's not hell, but you know. Why can't code be as easy as hardware? Huh? Sorry. Okay. Ticking, talking. Gonna run out of time soon. Okay, it is working. Can everyone see? Whoa, too far away. It's pointing at me. So, it's pointing at you. Whoa, hang on. That's pretty cool. Okay, so if it goes too far, I don't know what too far is. Close to. Oh my god. I'm gonna rip the USB cable. Oh, my water's gonna fall off onto my keyboard. Okay. What's the highest number it's getting to before it? 2.5 or something. So 2 meters or so. Anyway, we have a working sensor, so I can add pickup detection. I mean, I could do that with an IMU as well. I could do, but anyway. So, yeah, I might have to chain an IMU on here as well. You sent down isolated code, a lot of other annoying code ideas. Enjoying getting Platform.io working on my further three while watching the stream. Cool. Platform.io is pretty cool. And I have to say, finally, I think, so I'm using the PIO Arduino stuff, which is for, it's the unofficial, official 3.x core stuff that especially aren't adding themselves and PIO aren't adding themselves anymore. And it's looking really good. I think the 3.05 was a bit, but 3.07 is working pretty stably for me. I've moved all my things to it. It's just the usual check on. Oh, totally fine, totally fine. Don't forget to bump us. Helper did too. I did already. What do you mean? What do you mean bump it? Oh, my one. Oh, sorry. Here. Yeah. Thank you. Good point. Not that it matters because I'm not doing anything with it. I mean, it already had nano LED support. My version did anyway here, but yes, good point. Thank you. Okay, what was it? I forgot what I was just saying. Yep, totally forgot what I was saying. Lost the plot. Okay, I'm going to stop with the code and the hardware now. I'm gonna have to go home now for 4 hours or so. I might take it with me and see if I can get the compass calibrating, the magnetometer. Maybe not. But I honestly can't remember what I was just saying. So, rain, coffee, need coffee, coffee. Yeah, lost it. I've absolutely lost it. Thank you all for watching. And I'm glad we've got this going. It needs a clean. I need to solder the header on and then stick it in the ultrasonic cleaner, but I don't want to do that when the power's going to get shut off, so it's going to have to wait till this afternoon or tomorrow to do the rest of it. And I know I haven't checked the motor driver stuff yet, but I'm assuming that's going to work. But I can't plug it in until I've soldered that on and whatever. So I'll get all this working, and maybe next stream we'll be able to drive it around or something. I don't know. And I'm going to try to get this working. I'm going to see if I can find my capture card. That sounds good. Can anyone hear that? Yeah. Maybe that's why it's purple and green. I don't know. Yeah, it has been fun. Coffee at 11:30 p.m. No, it's not 11:30 p.m. for me. But you're young, Mihao. You can do it. God, you're not even 50, mate. You can absolutely drink coffee at 11:30.
Dutch Taurus says maybe disconnect your most valuable hardware in case the electric company F's up.
Yeah, nah. What could go wrong? She'll be fine, mate. She'll be fine. Sorry. Yeah, I might flick the power switch on my way out and turn everything off. That'd be a good idea. Okay, did I say hi to you, Dutch Taurus? I don't know if I did. I apologize if I didn't. You know, once you get to 54, your brain doesn't really work anymore. Anyway, bye everyone. Take care. Have a great week, and I will catch you all next week. Unless I do a impromptu stream on my other channel sometime in between. I don't know. We'll see. Bye. Oh, no, wait. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm not going to get to speak to you before Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. For those who celebrate Christmas, happy holidays, Festivus, whatever for the rest of us. And please do me a favour. All of you celebrating Christmas, please do me a favour. Don't eat so much. Don't overdo it. You don't have to eat it just because someone shoves it in front of you on your plate. Everyone I speak to after Christmas, oh my god, I ate so much. Oh my god, too much food. Like, come on. Not that I can talk. Okay, bye. Merry Christmas. I will speak to you all before New Year's. So I'm not going to say Happy New Year yet. Yeah. Okay, I'm really going. Bye.